Hello there. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Jamaica Magazine. We have lots of informative content lined up just for you. My name is Audrey Williams.
The numbers keep climbing, and yet some of you are still complaining about curfew times. Is that being selfish, or are you being smart? You continue to blame the government, stating they are not doing enough. But the big question is, are you doing your part to help decrease the spread? The unfortunate reality is that far too many people refuse to take the coronavirus pandemic seriously until they or someone they love gets infected. Now, this is what we do not want, and I don't believe I can stress this enough. Wear your mask, sanitize. Of course, we love to hug and socialize, but just ease off some of that right now, not just for your safety, but also for others. It look hard for your relatives to be home doing all they need to in order not to catch the virus, and you out on the road being reckless and carrying it right home to them. Each one of us needs to help during this fight against COVID-19 as we work to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business in a healthy environment.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, February 26, 2021. Government is building a robust governance framework and infrastructure for cybersecurity that is embedded in Plan Secure Jamaica, PSJ. This coming out of yesterday's National Security Council meeting chaired by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. The Prime Minister received a comprehensive update on Jamaica's cyber architecture and a specific report on matters related to the JAM COVID-19 application platform. He has directed that the plans for building cyber resilience in Jamaica be accelerated. This includes bringing the new National Cybersecurity Strategy to Cabinet in the second quarter of the upcoming fiscal year, launching a new cyber academy, and intensifying cross-agency cooperation. A multi-agency cyber analysis team is in place and conducting critical assessments of the existing cyber landscape. The National Security Council reports that over the past few weeks, there have been increasing instances of malicious cyber activity directed at both government and private entities. In response, government is undertaking a comprehensive review of security on all public bodies' websites and networks to ensure compliance with international standards and best practices. 162 websites have already been reviewed and another 100 are in progress. At the same time, members of the public are being urged to exercise greater care and vigilance by looking out for phishing scams and properly securing and changing passwords if necessary. Government's climate resilience and financing mechanism has been prioritized for the 2021-2022 budgetary calendar. $244.9 million has been earmarked for the second pilot program for climate resilience. It's jointly funded by the government and the Inter-American Development Bank and aims to increase Jamaica's resilience to climate change. Targets for the upcoming fiscal year include installation of 250 rainwater harvesting systems, conducting vulnerability assessments in 5 sectors, and construction of 205 microcheck dams in the upper Rio Mino area. Focus is also being placed on accessing funding for climate change projects through the $65 million Green Climate Readiness Support. This will, among other things, establish a Vision 2030 gender thematic working group, develop a strategy for reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, and complete a green bond market assessment and roadmap. Micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises (MSMEs) are set to benefit from the issuance of 86 bank guarantees during the upcoming financial year. This is being facilitated through the Credit Enhancement Program with a $440 million allotment in the new budget. The project, which started in September 2017, is to conclude in September 2022. It is being implemented by the Development Bank of Jamaica with funding from the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB. The Justice Ministry has set aside $4.8 million for the installation of fiber optic cables in 8 of the island's courts. The ministry is partnering with the National Works Agency, NWA, to provide the fiber optic connections. Portfolio Minister Delroy Chuck says this improved technology allows for more seamless virtual proceedings, adding that internet connectivity is a key requirement for business operations in the COVID-19 era. The connection will ensure high-speed internet access of up to 100 megabits per second to each location. The fiber optic upgrade will be installed at the Court of Appeal, Supreme Court, 4 parish courts, the Coroner's Court in Kingston, and the St. Andrew Family Court. 4 of the locations have already been connected, with the rest slated for completion before the end of the current financial year. And finally, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has been allocated $20 million for the rehabilitation and modification of its Canewood and National Hero Circle premises. This is contained in the 2021-22 estimates of expenditure, which was tabled recently in the House of Representatives. The work being conducted include renovation of Grant Hall, Allen Hall, and the Georgian Building. It also involves upgrading of the parking lot, rehabilitation of the bathrooms, and construction of a perimeter wall at Hero Circle. The project is to be completed in the upcoming fiscal year. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
I'm Helene Davis-White, President of the Jamaica Federation of Trade Unions. Our vision for a transformed public sector is one in which the workers will be happy providing efficient and effective service to the citizens of Jamaica. And that will be accomplished when the environment within which they work is conducive to them being able to deliver efficient and effective service, and one in which they are properly compensated for the work that they do.
Brought to you by the Transformation Implementation Unit.
We must admit, so much can go wrong very fast, even in the comfort of our homes. Let's take a look at how to prevent one of those things, a fire, while working from home.
When you have more persons at home, we tend to get more fires. During this global pandemic, we have to remember the children are at home. It is extremely important to never leave them unattended. Make sure that anything that is flammable is kept away from them. A lot more cooking is taking place because a lot more work from home is taking place. That has now become the norm. So be sure that you never leave your cooking unattended for any prolonged period. And when we say prolonged period, all of us will be mindful of whatever it is that we're cooking and the time it takes for boil over to take place. Boil over can actually start a fire. When boil over occurs, it is depleting the water which is in the pot. A part of what the water does is that it maintains temperature, and it absorbs the heat that is coming up from the direct flames. So when the water continues to dry out, you're going to get to a point where all the water is gone. Then whatever it is in the pot, if it continues, those things can become what we call embers. So they'll now be set ablaze in the pot. If it's a situation where you're frying, then the temperatures will continue to rise. And we've seen situations of flambe which is in a controlled setting. However, if it's not in a controlled setting, what you're going to have is that the fire will start right there on the stove. If you're cooking, please ensure that as much as is possible, you're tending to what it is that you're cooking. And I must point out very quickly, if you get home and you feel tired, don't tell yourself that you're going to be putting this on and take a nap. Take a nap first and then go and cook. During this time when we're working from home, use the opportunity to get rid of all useless combustible material. We would have seen a ban on bags, plastic, single-use plastic bags. Remember, the term regulator means to regulate. the contents of your gas cylinder are under pressure. The regulator ensures that that pressure is taken down to a manageable level, and then the gas is fed to your appliance, in this case your stove. So if the regulator is malfunctioning, it can cause leaks. And once there's a leak and you have open flame, that is a recipe for disaster. We must also point out that we've seen instances in households where persons tend to have the stove below a window, and for some reason they have some nice decorative curtains. Of course, we do not recommend that. I want to use this opportunity to make a general appeal to all Jamaicans. First of all, you do not use sanitizers in your kitchens where there's open flame. A lot more devices are now requiring a lot more energy, so a lot more charging is taking place. A lot more devices might be plugged into plugs that would not have been accommodating this much load. Never ever overload electrical circuits or the sockets. We have to be mindful of the fact that overloading will cause a fire. One of the sure ways to start a fire is by going with the extension cords, those little brown and white extension cords. Those extension cords are not meant to carry any amount of load. It is best if you get a surge protector for all your appliances. The surge protector will, as the name suggests, take a surge in electricity and it will break the circuit to ensure that you are not starting a fire. So it is extremely important to ensure that you are purchasing the right tools for the job at hand. Once they are not in use, plug them out. And it saves on energy as well, because these devices take energy to keep them going, and for the energy to actually get to them, it must pass through the cords that you're using. And I want to point out for you very quickly as well, never ever use extension cords on appliances that have very short cords. There's a reason the manufacturer make your blender with a very short cord. It's because they want them plugged directly into the socket and not into an extension cord, because they pull a lot of energy very, very quickly, and the extension cords might not be able to supply that amount of energy. And one of the ways to know if your extension cord is under pressure is by feeling the temperature of it. So you can use the back of your hand. If the extension cord is warm, it is sending a message to you. And one of the last things I want to leave you with, as an organization, the Jamaica Fire Brigade is open and available at all times. If it is that you have any kind of questions, feel free to call us. Feel free to go into any one of our fire stations, ask for information, ask for safety tips, and we will accommodate you. And remember, in the event of a fire, the numbers to call is your nearest fire station, or 110 or 112.
Small businesses like mine continue to serve the needs of people.
We all play a part in keeping the wheels of our economy turning, and we do so responsibly.
We are building forward
together.
There are simple ways we can create a more beautiful Jamaica. One involves proper disposal of our trash. Littering can be harmful for ourselves, the environment, and animals. Let's take a look at how these street fairies are keeping the streets of Jamaica clean.
Once upon a time, in a land far away from a fairy tale, were a people who lived the way you and I do, but a little differently. Much like the shoemaker and the elves, these street fairies don't leave beautiful pairs of shoes behind, but their art shares some similarities, and it's nonetheless worthy of recognition.
Good night, Dana Anderson, shovel user, shovel and drum, clean up Jamaica.
I'm working in the company 8 years now. I like the job, keep the place tidy and clean.
They always say to me, they say, this is not a woman's work, but a woman has to do what a woman has to do, eh? You have to work for yours, eh? Nobody ain't gonna give you nothing, so you have to work for it.
Yeah, enough of the woman work hard and plenty of the man them. I get used to my work still, so I don't feel no different from the man them. At the end of the day, I will bread where I work for. So any work for woman. Woman do man work nowadays.
I'm all right with my work. Yeah, I can provide for myself, my nephew, my niece, my child. She don't really like me day out here, you know, she rather me dead with she, but I have to make ends meet. I have to work, I have to pay my bills them. But they don't give me nothing, I have to work my own. But people that see me and want to style me and this, because I try to chuck work me do and them things there. But I don't really watch my face. Because I know, say, when my money enough, you see me?
I want to burn fire upon this whole foolishness that people talk from time to time about. If they don't litter, people don't get work.
Yeah, that's what them say some my time. But them can do better still. Plenty of them can do better still.
Enough of them like we, and enough don't like we, because sometimes we have to do with all the truck like all that, so now them don't say, you move from there, say you don't thinking truck and them things, but we don't care about that. That's our work.
When you litter, you waste the resource of your country. You make life more difficult for yourself and your fellow men. And you destroy the aesthetic, the beauty of our country that we boast about so much.
We are cleaning up Jamaica. And without cleaning up not Jamaica, wiper, disease and germs are broke out. So everybody who work with solid waste, important people them. All are important.
Differently from the sweeper them, we don't like the garbage bag up and we go through the bit more easier for it. More time we come out and have to wait on the sweeper them like on the just seat right now. We have to wait till the street sweep up, but if it's bag up, it's more easier for it.
Just the fact that you are generating solid waste, I ask you to just take some time to package it properly so that it gives us more ease of cleaning. And it also helps the side men, side women. They are human beings too. Their job is already very difficult. Don't make it more difficult for them by giving them extra work to do. It is very tough on them. The job is difficult. You know, it's not just about lifting things put in a truck, but some of the things they encounter out here. Bags with human feces. It's common occurrence, especially in the market district. The smell of urine is everywhere and it's in the solid waste that they're picking up. All sorts of meat cuttings, fish bone, fish back, fish gut. Just about anything that people don't want, and they have to pick it up. They have to face it.
A certain time at the night, when we reach certain hours at the night, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, gunman can strike and we have to run left the garbage some of the time and all them things there. And come back around and take it up, see, because we cannot leave it. See me? We cannot leave it. And we don't like them keep Jamaica beauty and clean.
Well, I stay out of them way, and I'm not really go for them though. I still think them happening. I just stay by myself, each time I look a corner.
And yet, despite the tough nature of the job, these people show up not just for work, but they show up and work.
We're backbone of the company, you know. Who clean the rubbish and my backbone, we're the most important people in the company. How we clean up work, enough mess and good rubbish, bad rubbish, all different kind of rubbish.
I believe deep in my heart that if you talk about heroes and heroines, our sidemen and sidewomen are right up there with any because of the human service that they provide and in very tough circumstances to keep Jamaica clean. Day after day, night after night, they are out and about, they roll up the sleeve, and notwithstanding all that they have to face, their head is down and they are going relentlessly in pursuit of that clean Jamaica. I laud them, I lift my hat to them They are good people. I just hope that more and more people will see them for who they are. People who are there to safeguard the health of the nation. They are the NSWMA. Without them, we are nothing.
Yeah, I love my work. I love it. I love clean the shovel.
I really use a night time
And as sunbeams break the night sky and the stars and moon bid their goodbye, the city smiles.
To properly carry out a hand rub, apply a palmful of the product in your cupped hand, covering all surfaces. Rub your hands palm to palm. Rub your right palm over the back of your left hand with interlaced fingers and vice versa. Rub your hands palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Rub the back of your fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked. Rotationally rub backwards and forwards the clasped fingers of your right hand in your left palm and vice versa. Once your hands are dry, they are now safe.
I know we long for certain social gathering, but do remember that COVID-19 is still among us, and it is imperative that we follow the right protocols to stay safe. This includes practicing social distancing.
Jamaicans are a touchy-feely bunch. We love to show and share our affection. That's one of the reasons the current global COVID-19 pandemic has been so difficult to bear. There can be no hugging, handshakes, fist bumping, or kissing. And most importantly, we now have to ensure that we maintain a physical distance of at least 6 feet apart. Social distancing is one of the methods the government of Jamaica is using to contain the spread of the novel coronavirus. This involves limiting frequent or close physical contact. In addition, persons are required to stay at least 2 meters apart. Why? Because COVID-19 is spread through droplets when an infected person coughs, sneezes, and even talks. By minimizing the amount of close contact we have with others, we reduce our chances of coming in contact with those droplets and catching the virus. As new information emerges and situations improve, the government of Jamaica has been adjusting the rules. But some things remain constant, like wearing masks when entering public spaces, avoiding touching mouth, eyes, or nose, washing hands frequently with soap and water, and using a hand sanitizer if soap and water is not readily available. Generally, public gatherings should not exceed 20 persons, and the 6 feet apart minimum should be maintained. There is now a 50-person limit at weddings and funerals, provided that the venue allows for the 6 feet apart rule.
The number of persons in the space to square footage, 1 person to 36 square feet, which would give you the ability in terms of the functional space to maintain social distance, that if you stand in the square of 36 in the center, then you should have 3 feet apart. The other person standing in the other square should have 3 feet apart between both squares. From the center, you should have your 6 feet apart. So if your space can only accommodate 30 people with that physical distance requirement, then it is only 30 persons. If your space can take 1,000 persons, there is a cap, only 50.
A maximum of 15 persons can be at a burial site. Social distancing is also required in all public and private offices. The same is true for business establishments. Dining at restaurants is permitted, but occupancy cannot exceed 50% of the facility's capacity with no more than 4 persons seated at a table. Only 60% of the seating capacity at cinemas, playhouses, and theaters can be used, with 2 rows left empty to facilitate the movement of persons across the width of the venue. A family or group of 4 are allowed to sit side by side. Public passenger vehicle license holders may carry the full complement of passengers as stipulated by their license. This, however, is subject to all occupants wearing masks, all windows being open, and air conditioning being off.
Remember, observe the measures. Wear your mask, do your hand sanitizing, do your social distancing, and just be very careful about your personal health and your own interactions.
Informing.
Jamaica today confirmed its first imported case of coronavirus.
Educating.
If you follow the recommended procedures, it is highly likely that you will not get the disease.
Going beyond to keep you informed and connected.
Welcome to Get the Fact.
Even through the pandemic. Helping you stay safe while we protect ourselves. Dependable. Impactful. Accurate.
This is your JIS News.
Credible. Trustworthy. Every day, everywhere. Serving our customers proudly.
This marks the end of today's magazine. As always, thank you for joining us. We're always excited to impart knowledge that will impact your life in some way or another. Remember to visit our social media pages as well as our website and our YouTube channel for more informative content. I'm Audrey Williams. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.